Yeah, do some white. Listen to where the joy is, and somehow it tells me what to do. Okay. I don't have any black here. Try not to think, because thinking ruins a painting. Painting is life, and the way you paint is the way you live your life. My name's Janet Wing. I'm a self-taught artist. I've been in this studio for 7 years. I don't know, what else do you want to know? I'm 75. I didn't start painting until I was 65. Yeah. These are the pandemic paintings here. And then all these are pandemic paintings. You know, you can see they're very tight, most of them. You know, and yeah, this one is a favorite. People like that one. But
where do you get all these inspirations from?
That's a good question. I'm not exactly sure. Sometimes I close my eyes and so many ideas come through. If I haven't been in the studio for a few days, like maybe say I haven't been here for a week or so, it actually can keep me up at night, ideas that keep coming through. Like this, actually, this is one I just did recently because I'd like to teach a small class. And this is a project I think people who aren't familiar with, making art could do and leave with a nice piece of art, of their own original art. This is my one realism painting.
This is real.
It's as close as I've gotten. I like this one a lot. I don't know where that little being came from, but I'm very partial to him, or her.
Do you ever care about what others think about your work?
I used to. It's very vulnerable to show your art to people. And it was scary at first, but now I'm pretty much, it's fine, whatever they think. Mostly I get positive, feedback. I've never had anybody tell me that their child could do it. I was kind of prepared for that at my first open studio, but it didn't happen, and it hasn't happened.
How would you describe your style?
It's abstract, and it's also what's called mixed media. I like to make hand-painted papers. Yeah, I think that it's abstract and it's mixed media. I don't do realism at all. You can see my self-portrait over there isn't exactly realism.
As an abstract artist and a very modern abstract artist, how would you view Basquiat?
Oh, I love him. He's one of my favorite.
Yeah, I can see him in your work.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, I appreciate that a lot. I love him. Yeah, yes. And, I started painting, it was actually 13 years ago. And my mother was in hospice, and I was taking care of her. And I had a little teeny canvas and some paint. And I would get up every morning, and I didn't know what I was doing. Never had painting class in my life, and I'd make some kind of a mark with a color on this little tiny canvas. And it gave me so much joy that I just kept going. And, you know, when I paint, what I do is I follow the joy, and I start a painting. I don't know where it's going to go. And I listen to where the joy is. And somehow it tells me what to do, and I just follow it along. So it blocks out, it's like a meditation. It blocks out everything, and that's all that exists is me and the painting, or me and the piece of work that I'm doing. Yeah.
Do you try to carry expressions through your like symbols you incorporate in your work?
I don't do anything consciously. I try not to think, because thinking ruins a painting.
Really?
Yes, I try to work from an intuition, from emotion, from spontaneity. And that's really, the thinking comes in at the very end, because you want to, you know, sometimes something needs to be tweaked, something needs to be added, another shape, a value needs to be corrected. Do you know what value is? You know what value is. So a value needs to be added or corrected, or something needs to be pushed back and something else needs to come forward. But I would say the thinking part is maybe 10% of the process.
Do you think the meaning of a piece of work come from the artist himself, or does it come from the galleries who give them meanings?
Oh, I can't stand it when galleries give paintings meanings. I think the meaning has to come from the observer. And I don't like to have an overlay of meaning that someone else puts on a painting. The person who, like, I'm always struck by people look at one of my paintings and what they see that I don't see. You know, it's very individual. I think it's very individual. Yeah.
Can you talk about some of the influences of Basquiat?
There's something called steal like an artist. Have you ever heard of that? Yeah. And so one of the things that I like to do is look at another artist's work, and then I don't really copy it, and I haven't done it a lot, but you get inspired by it, and there's a certain energy in it, and there's a certain feel to it, and there's a certain exuberance in it. And, you know, so I have done that with his paintings. And you know, it's too bad I don't have the one that is really like, really probably closest to his is probably, I don't know, underneath and all that over there right now. But I like to do that, and if I do steal like an artist, I always let the artist know. And so far, I've always had, obviously I can't let him know, but I've let artists know, and I've had positive feedback, because it's a wonderful experience being in the artist community with particular kinds of artists that feel cooperative, like it's a flow, it's a back and forthness that we give each other.
How would you feel or how would you face when someone says, like, to an abstract piece of work, like, my child could do this too?
Oh yeah, I'd say, well, absolutely. Of course they can, and what a compliment. Because if it's childlike, that's perfect. Because that's exactly where you want to connect to when you paint. You want to have also information or understand values and composition and color and those kinds of things. But if you can tap into your childlikeness or your inner child or your innocence and paint from there, you've got it. You've got, in my opinion, you've got it. You've got what it takes.
Why should we connect to the youth?
Why should we connect what?
To the youth, the young.
You mean inside ourselves?
Yeah.
I think they're one step away from God, to be honest with you. One step away from what is real in this world. You know, children don't think, they create and they imagine and they, you know, they're, excuse me, my voice is going, terrible pollen this time of year. You know, I mean, you're not so old. You must remember being a little kid. Was it fun?
Yeah.
Was it joyful? You know,
Yeah.
did you connected to something that was, you know, real and exciting and spontaneous? I mean, that's what you want to do. I mean, painting is life, and the way you paint is the way you live your life. You know, you can't escape that. The process is it's real. You know, it's honest, and children are honest. Sometimes too honest, and they embarrass us.
Yes, sometimes.
They'll say what everybody's thinking, but nobody else will say.
Yeah.
Oh my.
What do you think, or I should say, do you think there is a standard for a good piece of abstract art?
Not really in my world. I think it exists outside of my world. I particularly like amateur art because I think it's freer, and or it is free. I mean, there's some bad art out there. That's for sure. So I won't even say that. No, I won't say it's bad art. There's art that doesn't speak to me. Maybe that's a better way of putting it, because I think everybody is an artist in some way, shape, or form. Everybody has a life, and they're creating their life. That's an art form in my world.
But you also cannot ignore the aspect that some artists sell more than the other artists.
Yeah, that's not an indicator to me whether that's good art or not. And it's also men. I think men's art is more valued than women's art, and that's a shame, because women's art's great. Well, one of the things that I did was during the pandemic, my art changed because it was such chaos that my art became very tight. And I think it was to contain, you know, to help contain myself, to feel, so I didn't feel so, you know, hook into all the chaos around it.
Why do you think men's work sell more?
Because I think we have a patriarchal system, and I think men are more valued than women. Just in general. Yeah.
Even in the modern era?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean, it's better than it was, but yeah, it continues. Yeah.
do you try to like make an expression out of your work on something like that, or?
Yeah, no, I think just in the fact that I'm a woman and that I paint is enough, you know, for me. I don't make political statements in my work, at least not yet. I haven't yet. I'm only 75. I got plenty of time left, you know. Yeah, mostly what I do is I tap as I start a painting. I have a canvas. I don't know what I'm going to do. I select a palette. I may change the palette in the middle of the painting, but I start with a palette. And I scribble all over the painting. And now I have something on the canvas to respond to. And I wait, and I may get an urge to do a thing like that, or I may, you know, do a thing like that, or I may do dots all over the place. I may cover the whole canvas. I may scratch in the paint. It's more of an experiential, in the moment, trying, and I don't want to use the word trying, because I'm not trying to do anything. I'm being present and in an alignment with what wants to happen. There's something that wants to happen, and I'm supposed to be the conduit for it. Maybe that's the best way to explain it. So far, nothing political has come through. If it does, so be it. But if I were to do something political, that would be me controlling the process. And I don't like to control the process too much.
In like the art world today, artists can like do like whatever they want and claim it as art. So how would you define like what makes an artist an artist?
Oh, you're alive. Like I said, I have a very broad definition of what an artist and what art is. And if you have a life, you're an artist because you're creating something. You're creating a home, you're creating a life. You know, you may be creating children. You're creating a business, you're creating a beautiful meal. To me, that's all an art form. Poetry, I don't care, you know, I almost don't care if it's good or not. The important thing is create, do something. It's important. It's an important process. You know, and people say, well, I don't have a creative bone in my body, but they've got a beautiful garden out back, you know, and that's an art form. That's art.